Alrighty. Hello everyone and welcome back. This is a short video on I guess why I like electronics. More of a for beginners type thing. When you ask yourself the question, I'm in the ham radio maybe and I've studied everything but I don't really have a good understanding. Why do I care now? I've got my license. Here's why. Here's one of the reasons. One example. Okay? So, what we got? Here's a garage sale special. Craftsman rechargeable reversible screwdriver. Old, very old. Had a couple of sub-C nickel cadmium batteries in the handle here, which went south. They do eventually go bad, and I would suspect with one this old that most likely they were ones that would acquire a quote memory. Anyway, they were kind of toasted. Fortunately for me, I had a bunch of single 3.6 volt lithium ion batteries. They're about this long, about the size of my big finger around. And I replaced the two that were in here with that battery. So, how about that, huh? And plenty of torque. In fact, I think you would find that that size lithium ion battery would have more capacity in ampere hours than those two little old nickel cadmium batteries did. Anyway, unsoldered the ones that were in there and soldered that one in and got that. But now the problem is you have to be able to charge it, and you can't use the standard charger I had was this one. I cut the wire because I'll show you in a minute why. Anyway, I cut this one off, but this is the one that was on there. It's just your typical run-of-the-mill AC adapter, probably not even really regulated per se. When you charge nickel cadmium batteries, you need to be careful to some degree at the rate you charge them and all that, but for the most part, they could take a bit of abuse as long as you're careful about it. Lithium ion, not so much. In fact, the charge cycle for them is a bit critical. Now, this is a charger that, see, it says LED light. This is one that came from, I have a flashlight, it's not here, but it has that same style battery in it, and this is what you use to charge it. And strangely enough, because most of the time you find these these chargers and stuff, the wall units, and you can't take them apart, they're sealed. Sweetly enough, this one had a screw in it, so it came right apart. I could not believe my good luck. So, I don't know that this is necessarily the most or necessarily the most, but the best design of, and I can't read the number on that chip to really know for sure as far as the charging goes. But anyway, back to what I was saying, lithium ion batteries and the charge cycle's a little critical if it's done properly. There's like three portions to that. Sorry about that phone thing. To that cycle, and one's constant current portion where it charges with a constant current up to a certain point to where it reaches a certain voltage, and then it just kind of float charges it from there and keeps it at a constant voltage. Hoping this is what that does. I mean, I've charged several batteries with this charger already in the flashlight, and it seems fine. It just seems like it's maybe not the most complex design here, but if it works, it works, right? And it's just a screwdriver, so it's not a big deal. And I have plenty of those batteries. But, so, what we're going to do, I'm not going to do it now in the video, just want to tell you though, so you can see why I like electronics, is you have the cable coming off that goes normally to the flashlights, and I am going to solder this cable that I got off the adapter that came with the original, the original adapter with the screwdriver, and make sure you get the polarity right and all that. But going to solder that onto the same points and notch a little groove in the case here so I can run it out. And then this adapter will have two cables, one for the flashlight, one for the charger. Done deal. We just revived an old but good Craftsman screwdriver by knowing electronics, knowing how to solder, knowing how to, in this case it was the positive voltages on the center pin, and you got to make sure you hook it up that way and check it afterwards and make sure, and so on and so on, and make measurements. And it comes in handy so often. If you're not sure, you want to learn electronics to go along with ham radio, I really encourage you to do that. Even if it's, you don't get to the point where it's advanced electronics, but you're just enough that it's handy. And it really is. You can do so much that way. So, and that's about it for the video. Just wanted to share that with the people out there that were wondering whether they should learn electronics a little more. I'd say go for it. It's well worth the rewards in the end. So, with that, into CUA. Going that away, and hopefully some more videos are coming soon.